parking will be back to normal after Friday. Questions for Coach?
Coach, what really sold you on Brock Harding during the recruiting process that maybe not other schools or high major schools saw?
I think it was pretty simple. You just had to watch him play. I mean, he's just really good. I mean, he's good in every area. He has no weaknesses. He gets where he wants to get on the floor and makes threes, makes pull-ups, finds people, wreaks havoc on defense, great feel for how to play, great at the end of the game. He's just a winner.
Maybe it's an obvious question, but what will he and Freeman get playing together for a year?
Well, the thing about it is they've been playing together for a while on the AAU circuit, so they'll be together for the first time for Moline High School, but they've been phenomenal together, Mike, for a couple summers for a very good AAU team. And that will just continue. I mean, they already have compatibility in terms of knowing each other extremely well, and they're going to be a tough team to beat in that state.
Forgive me for not knowing this, but what prompted Owen's decision to go to Moline?
I think part of it, he wanted to play with Brock. I think there were other factors involved, but I know that was one of the big ones.
You look at the class as a whole, I believe you have 3 top 150 guys. Now that they're signed, what can you say just about the effort of yourself and your entire staff to bring in a class like that?
Well, it started with Owen and Price. We started recruiting them really early. Obviously, with Price, we were going after Peyton hard, and Price was a freshman. So that's how long we've been recruiting him and known him. And he just kept getting better and better. I mean, his numbers last year in the state were phenomenal, as they were in the summer on a very high-level AAU circuit. We went after Owen a long time ago and really zeroed in on him as being a front court guy that could really help us immediately. He obviously had a lot of attention, so we just went hard at him, and we were very fortunate he committed pretty quickly. And then Brock's a guy that we've been watching, and I think it's one of those things that didn't take long, but after a while, you just watch this kid play and say, well, he can play for anybody. I think people were looking at his size and trying to figure out reasons why he couldn't play in a Power 5. But all he ever did was outplay everybody that lined up in front of him. So I think after a while, it's like, wait a minute, that kid, he helps you win no matter who you play, who he plays for. And I'm just really excited about all 3 of these guys.
I don't know how many programs in the country have had as many sets of brothers as you have, but what does it do for the brothers and just and maybe for the team?
Well, I think there's familiarity on a number of different levels. Obviously, the younger guys already know the guys on the team, and they've watched the program, they've watched the games, so there's comfortability there. And I think the fact that the older brothers are telling the younger ones to come, I think that's great. Obviously, Keegan and Chris were the same year, but you're happy that the older brothers had a great experience.
I was going to say, what does it say about the chemistry then of your team that these guys really gravitate toward?
Yeah, but Price obviously he'll come down and he'll want to spend time with his brother. And his brother's friends are the guys on the team, so he gets to know them and they become friendly. So it makes what can be a very difficult decision a lot easier when you have that comfort factor.
What are some of the main differences between Price and Peyton with how they played at this stage in high school?
Well, think about Price. When he was a freshman, he started at the point for them and played point primarily his freshman and sophomore year. I really liked that about him. He kept growing. He's now about almost the same size as Peyton. They're both 6'7", 6'7 plus. But I also think it's been good for Price to really expand his game. He plays at the forward position. He has to rebound. Sometimes he's the tallest guy out there, and he has to get all the rebounds and block shots. Then he brings it down, but he's always making threes. He's always making plays. But both of them have very similar skill sets in the sense that they really don't have a lot of weaknesses. They can dribble, pass, and shoot. They rebound. They defend. They really know how to play. I mean, they grew up in a big-time basketball family, with their dad and their mom and their grandfather. I mean, they've just been around the game, and you can see that when you watch them play.
Does Price have that same mindset where every shot he takes he thinks going in?
Yeah, you're surprised when it doesn't go in when he shoots it. And I think that's the important thing, Pat, that you just keep shooting if you miss a couple.
Looking at the game with North Carolina A&T, what are your impressions of them?
I like their team. They've added some pieces. They're an interesting program. I mean, obviously I'm familiar with them because they were in the same city where I coached for a number of years. They're going to be in 3 conferences in 3 years. You don't see that very often. But a very proud program. They have talent. They have depth. They've got some size. And I think they put a team together that has some pieces that can be special. They got really good guard play, aggressive drivers, scorers, guys that can make shots, make threes, and then their front court guys. Again, they have more depth than they've had in the past. So there's a couple different, they can go big, they can go small. They're going to play at least 10 probably, maybe a little bit more even. I think they're comfortable going deeper with the group they have. And it'll be a great challenge for us.
Their three-point shooting, is it by design from what we saw the other night?
Say that again?
Their three-point shooting, I think they took 32, 33.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys that have confidence in their ability to make threes. And I would say make shots. Threes, yeah, but I mean they're going one-on-one, they're shooting pull-ups. I mean, they play with a great deal of aggressiveness and confidence. Yeah.
Well, you talked to Peyton after the game. He said that one of the big team goals was to change perception or a narrative about the program and defense. How have you seen them kind of internalize that from the summer and how it's played out in the first 2 games?
Yeah, I think, we have a group that is committed to playing at both ends. I felt the same way about last year's team. I appreciate Peyton, taking pride in that. I think he's a really good defender, and I don't think people sometimes look at really good shooters that way, but if you watch him play, he really competes defensively, and that says a lot about him. And I think we have a team that can really defend. We've got length, we've got depth, we can put pressure on the ball, and that's what we're supposed to do. Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.